At Wrestlemania.
Big time. So much larger than life. There we go.
I said, are you ready
No.
for the Survivor Series?
That's not WrestleMania.
The cluster.
No, but it's how the WrestleMania rap starts.
Yeah, I know.
We're taking over!
So this is another edition of the Lost Art of Wrestling. This is, of course, our traditional Mania predictions.
Yay! Get in there. We
Here
skipped
it
last,
comes! The WrestleMania
we skipped last year
Predictions!
because fuck everything. Because literally fuck everything.
I gotta get in, because I'm not appearing at WrestleMania this year. I like to think.
We'll make it a weekend.
Don't be silly, Rick Powell. We'll find some spot. We gotta fill 16 hours somehow.
Look, Gronk, I can fall off the stage as well. Whee!
I'm kind of gutted neither you can do like a Dusty Rhodes impression, so you can do like the whole Hard Times promo, simply because the last year had been a complete shit show.
Well, the thing is, when you're talking about hard times, you gotta talk about the American dream. Dusty Rhodes, baby.
It might not be a good Dusty Rhodes, but it's certainly an amazing Nelson Mandela. Okay, well done there. I like that. He did do a good promo to R. Nelson. Good lad. So about Chris Eubank Senior, I'm not quite sure. Make your mind up. Answers on a postcard. Right in.
Oh dear. Anyway, of course, your host AXC. I've got some guests from RAD here tonight as we cross over and discuss the granddaddy of them all. Oh wait, it's not called that anymore. It's called something either way. Probably a shit show, but I have, of course, the Stowaway Lewis Ogden.
How's thou doing? Oh, wait, wrong podcast.
He's doing fine.
Yeah, okay, we'll roll with it. Fair enough.
Because we were also on the Phoenix Pod.
Indeed.
It's the Phoenix Pod.
Pull off into paradise. This isn't the podcast for that. that show is dead and buried. Well, no, it's not dead and buried, but it's on its last leg.
Wow. Way to promote that one.
You're welcome, pal.
It's on its arse.
There's no point.
Put it that way.
There's no point.
And the other voice you can hear. I don't even know what Paul has intro wise for you, so I'm just going to say it's not
go with
Daz.
it. Go on, I want to hear what you ad lib in here. Go on. I've got plenty of fucking nicknames to go with. So
Well, I can't say some of them because it's like before the watershed, and we probably get like the show taken off like any platform. So we'll just go with it's not Daz Anthony Dark.
well, it's the dullest intro I've ever had in the 2 years I've been doing this. But it's the PG version. So hello everyone. Yes, I'm back to defend my crown.
Indeedy.
I don't have a crown, but it's there. It's there.
We can work.
You had your £6 in winnings you've never been paid.
You know what? You know something? I completely forgot about that. I was so happy with the fact that I actually won something that is almost entirely predictable. And yet when we did the fucking NFL thing, that was not predictable at all, and I tanked at that, so...
I remember asking about it. You said carry it over to next year, and it's like, yeah, okay, you just never got paid it.
Well, that was the kiss of death for 2020, wasn't it?
Well, I'd have gone with he can predict wrestling shows, but he can't fucking predict American football. As his intro.
I can't predict the fucking past at the minute, so can we... So... Mystic Meg I ain't.
Yes, so WrestleMania it's slowly creeping up. It's just over a week away, or by the time this goes live, it will be a week away.
Mm.
So let's get into it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we may as well.
So I believe I'm going to hand over to Lewis now, as you have the card.
I do. Are we going from top to bottom or bottom to top?
Oh, I'm a bottom to top kind of guy.
You're a bottom to top kind of guy. Okay. Yeah. So what's down here on, as per Wikipedia, the first match up for night one is Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Not my material. I've nicked that from the Little Creators.
Yes, it is.
It isn't.
Oh, right. What is going on here? The problem with this is, it's an absolute nothing storyline, by the way. Seth Rollins is continuing doing his Jesus gimmick, because that's what it is. It's a Jesus gimmick.
Yes, because it worked so long just before he went on his sabbatical.
I think even Jesus is disappointed in Seth Rollins at the minute. I think that's the way it's getting that bad for him. And so, poor old Cesaro, who's not related to me, contrary to popular belief, get a DNA. We'll get in a DNA test and we'll sort it. But yeah, I mean, let's be honest, it's going to be a pretty decent match end of the day. But I don't want to see Cesaro lose because it's Cesaro and he's probably one of the best wrestlers in WWE at the minute.
Mm-hmm.
But Vinny loves a bit of Sethy. Vinny loves Sethy, yeah? And I don't know why I went South African there.
You're thinking Apollo Crews, that's what you're thinking. That's why.
I'm thinking of Nelson Mandela again. That's what it is. Now let me tell you about what will happen in this match. There we go. That's what Nelson Mandela. I'm available for after dinner speaking, and but seriously, I want Cesaro. I'm going to predict Cesaro to win this because I don't know. I just think Cesaro's going to win it.
Fair enough.
I can't give you any storyline build up to this because it's practically out. Apart from Seth Rollins trying to convert him into his little occult of Rollins is.
Well, it sounds about as enthralling as, Seth Rollins attempting to sort of like, not be annoying, which is impossible. Yeah, I mean, I've been on sort of like if you were to go back to sort of like, the main event of WrestleMania 31 and just say sort of like, that guy who's just, provided you with one of the, or has been a part of one of the most memorable bits of wrestling in probably the past like 5 years or whatever. It's like, you're not going to be able to stand the sight of him in a few years' time. And you think, no, surely not. And that's credit to him. He's done a fantastic job of making me not want to see him. It just annoys me. I don't care how good of a wrestler he is. This fucking, it all started with him sort of like, attempting to take the high ground with fucking Moxley and fucking, just being an utter dick. So just because it didn't work out for him, you have to fucking bash him for, wants to go out and try and make a name for himself in all different places. Why? He's supposed to be your mate. Why are you bashing him? The only excuse that I can find is you're a cock.
He does seem like an absolute massive weapon at the minute.
Yeah. And then, like I said,
he is a cock. So you have been warned.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to say at the start of this match. It's like, first WrestleMania, like I said, he is a cock, so you've been warned. Predict him at your peril.
And I realised, like I posted in our group chat, something that he said on Twitter, probably to get him heel heat, which resulted in him getting even more X-Pac heat with me, by proclaiming that he was one of the greatest workers that's ever performed at WrestleMania. I realised it was in heel gimmick, but he's probably had one significant moment over all his appearances at WrestleMania. Maybe two, but that was only because he had like a move done to him.
Well, getting his head caved in by Randy, that one.
Yeah.
And then him getting the title at the end of it. And
that was only one WrestleMania.
And I genuinely, for the life of me, cannot remember what he's done since. What has he done? What was he in?
He was in the triple threat, wasn't he?
There was like a triple threat intercontinental title match in like the opener, and then he won the Universal belt off of Brock in the opener of like.
Oh, he did, because he was
the Mania
Slayer.
Yeah.
Was the Triple H match as well, wasn't there?
Oh yeah,
34?
33. Yeah, because
not a play.
Barber. No. We need at least 20 minutes of professional wrestling grinding down a body part in this unsanctioned match. Because it's me, Triple H. Yeah, I mean, I echo Ant's sentiments. It's like, I don't want Cesaro to lose because Cesaro's a fucking beast. He's fucking amazing. But, you know, Vince has a great big massive chubby for Seth Rollins. So, I mean, the way that this storyline, I say this in inverted commas, is set up, would probably lead you to think that Cesaro is probably going to win, but I'm going to say Seth's going to win because it's Seth.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I'm in the sort of same boat as you, really, because I do like Cesaro, and I liked everything he's done since I first saw him in Chikara as Claudio. But
Claudio Castagnoli. What a fucking
Claudio.
name! What a fucking name!
Yeah, I think it's one of them though where it is because apparently his name appeared on the list where he was one of the underused guys or something. Like they asked for a list and his name was like top of the list with a couple other guys.
It's criminal the way he gets used. It's absolute. And I hate to say it, what an absolute waste of a career. To be honest, well, not waste of career. That's a bad word. But what he's wasting his time in WWE, and WWE are wasting their time. And the only reason they've given him that new contract is because he doesn't go anywhere else. End of the day.
Yeah. Well, it's that thing though. Like, I know there's been points where like Vince is like open. Says like, I don't see him as a main eventer. Like,
why would you work for someone like that? I don't get that. Who so publicly puts you down, and he's not just done it once, but several times. The brass ring thing and saying he can't connect with fans. I mean, that's your boss saying that. Why would you work for that guy? Hello, that's 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million. That's why, you know.
Well, I mean, I swear we talked about it like a couple of podcasts ago, and I can't remember whether it was a Lost Art of Wrestling or it might have been on the not the one that's literally just gone out, but the one before on the RAD, where we like talked about, you know, wrestlers staying in their lane, where they probably do deserve better, but they probably know they're not going to get better. They're not going to get any better than what they're getting at the moment, and they're just content with earning a shit ton of money.
Yeah, that can be it sometimes.
About, Miro and Miro / formerly known as Rusev at the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's one of them as well. Like, as much as it's going to be that thing of like, I know they'll be there going, I know people want Cesaro to win at Mania, but he can't. So they're going to give it to Rollins.
Yeah.
So it's like, my thing is like, I always do it with the thing of like who I want to win, which is Cesaro, and who I think is going to win is going to be Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins. It's like I think the way he presents himself, it's like he's a moderately powerful Pokemon. He's like, Seth Rollins. He's brilliant, isn't he? He's a meme in himself.
I can't wait till they nail him to a cross and stick him in a cave.
You know what? Pilot, calm down. You know? He's gonna be there like, always look on the bright side. You know, like. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy.
Imagine that coming out of Becky Lynch's mouth.
Oh, she's no. I'm not going there. No. You see what? See that, people? You listen to that? That's called restraint.
Is it something that's Irish or? Is it the Irish connection?
No, probably because I just have a bit of respect for the woman and none for him.
Fair enough.
Would you want me to lie? I love him. He's a great guy. No, the man's a knob. first class knob.
I concur.
And he's got a knob in his face with that fucking snoz. Fuck me.
Is it full Triple H nose? Like,
You can plough driveways with that thing.
Okay. Well, the next match that was on the cards sort of like spoils the sort of like my background picture, so I'm going to leave that for in a little bit. So I'm going to go to the next one above, which is Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods defending the WWE Raw Tag Team titles against AJ Styles and Omos. This will be so Omos is the great big massive African-American bodyguard that accompanies AJ Styles to ringside, and I believe this will be his first match on the main roster.
What could possibly go wrong? Absolutely fucking. AJ Styles is going to be in that match for fucking 99.9% of the time. I'm hoping anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it'll probably be the thing of, to AJ, like you say, AJ works 99.9% of the match, and then Omos gets tags in. He fucking ragdolls Kofi and Xavier and beats them in convincing fashion. That's why I've got AJ and Omos winning the tag belts over them, because like I don't like to rag on the New Day, but it's an overplayed gimmick. It's been stale. It's been overplayed for like the past 3 years or whatever. It doesn't connect with me. And when they had the likes of Cesaro and Shinsuke, Cesaro and Nakamura with the tag belts, or the Hurt Business, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, when they had the Raw belts, so it was like, okay, it's something different. You're building up something quite nice, and then they just immediately put it back on the fucking New Day again, and I'm just sort of like, it's like, can we not have something, new, something a little bit interesting, sort of like, rather reversing back to the same old. So yeah, I think it's set up for AJ and Omos to win the tag belts.
I would have to agree. I hate to agree, because I hate it when they just slap two people together and just whiz them off into the tag team division, because that's how tag team wrestling works these days. I hate that. But I want to win, so and so I'm going to continue my trend of backing every single bald person in this WrestleMania. Almost doing it for the baldies. Cesaro and Omos.
Thank God you said baldies.
The baldies. Hey, we're the baldies.
Right, bloody Davey Watson, calm down.
Davey Watson? Who's Davey Watson?
From Monkeys, what's he called? Yeah, the thing with New Day is it's that thing where they're just going to come out in gimmick, aren't they? Going to have some sort of fancy costume that they're wearing especially for Mania, and they're going to have some sort of
anime have they ripped off this time?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, and then you're gonna have like the announcers going, "Oh, they're parrot like it's based on this one," and it's like, does it matter?
Okay. Yeah. What else is there to them?
Like, and they're gonna have like a bit of a flashy entrance again, and then other than that, like, yeah. Well, they haven't got Big E anymore to do that, so
no.
Was I the only one that's slightly concerned that bloke pulled things out of his unitard and then fed them to children?
No.
Was I the only one that just thought, right, okay,
no, because
that was a mistake the first week, can you not? And they just kept doing it.
Well, there was someone who was like, I think it was Kofi or Xavier Woods, who on like that Big E documentary with that WWE 24, whatever it was, they were saying like, yeah, he's pulling his pancakes out from like his gear, but like he doesn't wear like under trunks or anything.
Oh my god!
Like,
I mean, I've heard about I've heard like stories like the penis suplex and stuff like that, but I've never seen that kind of sort of like, you know,
penis pancakes.
Yeah, I mean, particularly with, you know, your paying audience.
Yeah. So, the problem is, though, I've not seen any of Omos unless he was on Raw Underground, and I may be.
He was on Raw Underground, but wasn't he like the big bodyguard guy?
He was the big bodyguard for Shane.
Yeah. So he's not actually like wrestled per se on like NXT or anything.
Oh,
I think he did like.
He was the big ninja. He was the big ninja.
He was the big ninja. He was the big ninja for Akira Tozawa.
Oh,
he might have done like some house show matches on the NXT circuit.
He has, yes, he has. Yeah.
Well, I think that was quite a while ago.
That was in 2019.
Yeah. So it'll have been a while.
It's one of them really, because I don't know how it's going to work. Whether it's going to be like whether that they're going to just like have him randomly turn on AJ or something. It could happen because they might want the third guy for New Day again. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, they broke up the most popular faction in WWE at the moment in the Hurt Business, so.
We'll do what we want. We'll do. Fucking ridiculous, that.
Yeah. So, but even then, it's going to be like the New Day would be the ones I could see winning, simply because it's Mania.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
I could see that as well. You know, AJ Styles taking the pin.
Yeah, but like they're going to win like via some sort of fuckery. Like,
Fuckery.
Some New Day fuckery would get them the win.
Possibly.
Possibly. Unless they're going to like redo the finish from the Shaquille O'Neal match from AEW.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So, just saying.
Hey, he went through a table.
Yes, he did. And he actually fucking stayed down, even past the finish.
And I hit the love handle Sam on Joey Hayes. What's your point?
So have you got the New Day in that?
I'm gonna go for New Day, yeah.
Okay.
Simply because it's like I think it's one of them where it's just gonna be a case of like it's not really a big match for AJ like I thought it would be for Mania, to be fair, this year.
Stupid sensible man.
And I think it's one of them where it's either going to be like AJ is going to end up like they're going to try and take the big guy out like by putting him through a table or something, and it's just literally AJ by himself. Like, or it is going to be AJ 99% of the time. He's going to come in for a bit, and then there'll be some sort of fuck finish, and he'll take the pin or something.
Oh no, Omos won't take the pin. If anything, it'll be AJ taking the pin.
You reckon?
He's fucking huge. Huge men can't get pinned easily. You got to give him a couple of years under the belt before you start burying them. Which we'll get to.
Well, it's live, pal.
Right. Next up, I've got Bad Bunny with Damian Priest versus The Miz with John Morrison.
I have no idea who that fucker is. I really do have no idea who that fucker is.
Well, he's a rapper, and he's more popular than anybody in WWE. So,
what's his?
You know,
I've just no idea who he fucking is.
Hey, I hold my hands up. I hold my hands up. I'm exactly the same. But the fact is, he's sort of like, you know, modern day music. I don't pay attention to modern day music, but because I think 99.9% of it is crap. But you know, he's got quite a following. He's a big wrestling fan, and he's doing something with WWE at WrestleMania. So yeah, fair enough.
Great.
Fair enough. He's got like something like over 1 billion streams or something on Spotify.
Yeah, something like that.
And he's like a massive. He's a big draw for their like Latino market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
But I mean, I sort of I look at this match and I think more and more about it. What was the point in putting the WWE title on the Miz? Honestly, what was the point in putting the belt on?
I said this.
Well, I realise it was a stopgap to get it off of Drew and then onto Lashley. But, you know, was anybody really, you know, when the Miz in his current situation, when a guy like that can win the world belt, it doesn't really paint your world belt with great fucking reverence. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, this match will be smoke and mirrors. Hopefully, Damian Priest will get a look in here and now because I really like fucking Damian Priest. Damian Priest is the equivalent of Baron Corbin, but he can work and he can't. And he doesn't bore the fucking life off of me. So, you know, I'm gonna go with Bad Bunny on this one because you know it's invariably with these like celebrities against WWE wrestlers, it's usually the WWE wrestlers that take the fall.
Oh, I'm going to have to go to confession for this, but yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there. I mean, I get so depressed when I see a celebrity just waltz in and try to wrestle. It's cringy. It's really fucking cringy. Even when it was Gronk, it was really fucking cringy.
Do you want to talk about Snoop Dogg and his frog splash?
Even Gronk.
Yeah, Snoop. Oh, that was really fucking cringy. Again, I say it once, I say it 1,000 times. Celebrities, yeah, please don't. It's not like a please stop. It's just a please don't, because it never ends well for anyone. I mean, we have fucking, what was her name? Snooki?
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Fuck me, what a massive turd she was. Like, God, what was she doing? She was with John Morrison and Trish Stratus.
Trish, I think it was, yeah.
What was it Maria Menounos as well, another one?
Yeah, a year or two later.
Oh my Jesus Christ. What are we doing, guys?
But
I mean,
the best one with that was the fact that she wore like white pants, and then afterward everyone's like, "You shit yourself," and she's like, "No, that was fake tan, but okay."
No, you shit yourself. Never let the truth spoil the good.
Well, no, I mean that's sort of like believable because there is one point where she does a stink face onto, I think it was Eve.
Oh, well, definitely is fake tan then. Jesus Christ.
I mean, yeah. If you looked at Eve during her WWE run, you'd sort of like be like, you've either been on the sunbeds or you've been fucking tangoed, love.
He was a sack of shit as well.
But I mean, I'd argue the best sort of like celebrity appearance at a WrestleMania would probably be Floyd Mayweather. Maybe Ronda Rousey. I don't know whether you could count Ronda Rousey given the fact that she went on to have a career in WWE for a couple of years.
career in WWE. That bitch complained when she wasn't getting the fucking praise she thought she deserved. Oh, and then she threw her fucking dummies out the pram when everyone realised she was actually a sack of shit. Fuck off. Do one, Ronda. Do one, Ronda. Don't come back to wrestling. We don't fucking want you.
Aunt Tally's in her bunkle.
Oh, come on, what did she do? Oh, she won the women's title on fucking merit just because it was meant to be that sort of thing. And yeah, I can understand why they put the title on her. But everything after that, my God, that girl doesn't throw her dummies out the pram. Jesus. She just complained towards the end. That's all she did.
I can see this match going, like, it's either going to go one of two ways.
I can see it going, doing a big Terry Funk and going, forever, forever.
Well, it's even going to be that thing of like, it's going to be like Damian Priest for most of it. And then he's going to tag in this Bad Bunny guy at some point. He's going to do a bit. Then he's going to tag in out to Priest. Priest is going to like get pulled out or something.
This isn't a tag team match, by the way.
Is it? Oh, I thought it was.
No, Priest and Morrison are just like
there
or at ringside.
Oh right, I thought it was a tag match.
No, it's literally a one-on-one.
Now you're
shit the bed. and
Jack Hence well pressed.
I want to repeat that again because you glitched out.
Did I glitch out then? Oh, I was just saying.
You had a mini stroke, yes.
Well, computer, yeah.
So it's Priest versus Miz?
No, it's Bunny versus Miz.
It's Bunny versus Miz.
Oh, Bunny versus... Oh, what the fuck?
Morrison at ringside. Johnny Mundo, Johnny...
I can just see it becoming a tag match, if anything. It's going to be that one where they're like, oh, we're going to restart it. It's a tag match, player.
Teddy Longs would come out.
Yep. Teddy Longs would come out. Yeah, Teddy Longs would come out, and it's just going to be like, we're going to have a tag team match, player.
Yeah, fucking beat me to it, because I literally heard as I went to go and get another beer, literally sort of like, could see it becoming a tag team match, and I was just sort of like, oh! I'm just expecting his music to hit. I forget how it goes now, because I was gonna do the lyrics for it, but
it's the Mac Militant.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I don't know what the rest of it is. I don't want to embarrass myself.
Even though that was for Rodney Mac.
It was for Rodney Mac.
Hold on a minute there, player. The Hell's Gate submission has been no Teddy. It's not that.
Teddy, what? Yeah.
It's
to be honest, he lost his
Teddy.
mind. He lost his mind. Bless him.
Oh dear. Yeah. It's either going to become like either he's going to get fucked over, or it's going to end up in a DQ, or it's going to end up becoming a tag match. Which is if they're both at ringside, which is the one I can see it going. But like if that's on night 1, I can see it carrying over at night 2. So.
Could you imagine?
You mean it becomes a Dean Ambrose fucking Luke Harper Falls Count Anywhere match?
Oh my God.
They brawl into the SUV and fuck off for 24 hours. And then they come back.
They go? Where did they go?
They did one at Chikara, to be fair, years ago. They had like a 24-hour match that just seems like they disappeared. They were brawling outside the ring, disappeared, and then like I think halfway through the show the following day they just reappeared through a fire exit, still like kicking shit out of each other.
Oh, the kayfabe is strong in that match. The kayfabe is.
I do love that though. It was quite banterous.
So,
are we Bad Bunny all round then?
I'm thinking if it's going to be a singles, it's going to end up as no contest. But that's where it'd lead into the tag match. Whereas if it doesn't, then Bad Bunny's gone over.
Yeah, predict the singles, and then let's predict the tag just in case it happens as well.
Well, I mean, it's going to be the baby faces either way.
Yeah, I'm going to say either way, it's going to be Bad Bunny.
Well, it's either that, or it's going to be that thing where it's like Bad Bunny's going to get screwed over, and then Damian Priest is like, as Miz and Morrison are on the ramp, they'll be like, oh well, since you fucked around or whatever, let's do a tag match tomorrow night.
Right, that seems a bridge too far for WWE to be that sort of like logical in the booking. Studs. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I know.
Are you saying their booking makes as much sense as the lyrics to Test theme from way back when?
Yes.
Test.
But wait, you can do and it fucking fits.
Stop the
All right.
He's a test.
All right. I was about to say, all right, Scatman John.
Okay. Is there anything I can't do?
Probably, but we've not found
Grow
it yet.
hair.
Oh, fucking hell. Jesus.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
You know what? That was so genuine as well, because you didn't miss a fucking beat. That just straight away came out. That was so genuine. We should have another podcast we do one night where we just roast me for like fucking 2 hours. Just get it all out your system, guys. But be warned, I will fucking retaliate.
Oh, right. Next up, it is incorporating my background that I've got on my Skype call. It is a steel cage match between Brawny the Tank Engine versus Shaney the Berry. Shaney the Berry McMahon.
Giving
his
berry, Shaney. You're a berry. Berry.
Giving its wondrous gas tank. This. I mean, what's to be said about this? I mean,
it's one big spot, isn't it? Essentially.
Essentially, yeah.
Well, two if you count the fact Braun Strowman's probably going to throw him through the cage.
Or throw him off the cage. Do him a big old Kevin Owens, throw it. I'm calling it now. They're going to recreate the Braun Strowman Kevin Owens match where Strowman throws him off the cage, he goes through the announcer's table, and Shane wins. That's going to be my prediction now. That's. But yeah, this feud is terrible. It's fucking, they're doing WWE comedy of, sort of like Shane. They're recreating the same story, same Shane McMahon Big Show storyline from 2001.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Literally, Shane is Jack and the Beanstalk, and Strowman is the great big giants of the Beanstalk. It's like, which way did he go? Oh. Which way did he go? Oh. That's literally that. Except they're bringing out, fake school report cards and Photoshop promos with Braun Strowman with a Dun's hat, and oh my god, isn't this hilarious? Like, no, not really, because the only good that this story has given is it is pointed out what my bathroom break will probably be for night one. So thank you, WWE, for that. But yeah, Shane will probably win via fuckery because it's Shane McMahon. And, I'm sorry, how can you take Braun Strowman seriously when you're giving him train sound effects? Literally, there's a reason why like a couple of YouTubers have taken sort of like his first appearance of sort of like, of him having the train sound effect and put the Thomas the Tank Engine theme tune over the top. That should just be his theme music coming out now. You might as well go whole.
It just needs to be announced by Ringo Starr, and it's completed.
Is it like what there's on Ricochet, where it's like he had his theme and then they added the
what were I thought were that?
Don't forget Aleister Black. When they added, when he was sort of like, yeah.
Don't half love a good sound effect as WWE.
It's like, why don't they just rename him B-Train? They've had the A-Train. Call him the fucking B-Train. All right.
Good. Get these hands. Do. I'm not finished with you.
I'd have liked to have seen Shane in like the meeting of like, so I've got this idea. Me and Braun Strowman in a sort of Jack and the Beanstalk style situation. They go, Shane did it 20 years ago. Did I? Yeah, you and Big Show. Did I?
Really?
How many times does Shane's kids need to see him brutalised, like, until he fucking realises, like, Shane like getting too old for this, pal?
How many more matches does Shane McMahon has before he has a fucking heart attack in the middle of the ring? Have you seen it? Have you seen how fucking red he gets whenever he's working? Jesus Christ, like a bloody beetroot.
Shane or beetroot.
Here's me dressed like a gay Satan.
Shane the gay Satan. That's brilliant, that. Oh, that's all I'm ever going to see of him now, gay Satan. And that's how you get a gimmick, everybody.
What's your prediction, Anne?
You like it or not?
It's as tempting as it is to go with the bald bloke. I do love my bald brethren, but the problem I have with this, if I pick Shane McMahon and Shane McMahon wins and a feud continues, I actually will feel personally responsible for every kind of child crying at night because of the storyline. So.
No, you won't, because I've already picked Shane. I picked Shane myself. So.
All right, so it's your fault. All right, then. Okay. I don't know.
Also, that's another thing with Strowman. Why did they shave his fucking head? I realise he was sort of like balding, but at least he has a more sort of like, at least he's got more believable long hair than Baron Corbin did.
Yeah.
He just looks
I
generic.
think I'm the wrong person to be having this conversation. I really am. I'm going to be brave and say Braun Strowman. I'm going to be brave. Back in my bold dude.
Yeah, okay.
See, I'm inclined to go with the Shane route as well. Like,
because you've got to remember, sort of like 2 years ago, remember when he had that match against Miz? It was all set up for Miz to win, and then Shane McMahon went over.
Well, I'm doing reverse psychology here with that, so I'm going to pick Brock. Wow, that's made me, reverse psychology.
Part of me is leaning towards the thing of like they're basically trying to make Braun Strowman into their new Big Show. Like, simply because partially
well, it's the new show.
Braun Strowman, Paul White.
They'll end up renaming him as like Braun White or something.
Braun White.
Or they'll be like Big Strowman.
Big Daddy Braun. Big Daddy Braun.
But the fact is like, I was like watching. I was trying to find the clip the other day of when Big Show flipped a vehicle over. And the one I can't find is the one I was after, which was the one that's like of him like trying to tip a vehicle over, and you can literally hear the hydraulics going on like the set or whatever. Like as Big Show's trying to push it, you just say.
It's like fucking Robot Wars, isn't it? When first you say that's Sir Kill-A-Lot.
You need fucking Craig Charles on there. It's like Sir Killer, he's fucking down. Oh, when it is Strowman.
Yeah, so I can't wait for the big the Braun Strowman show.
The Strowman show. You know what? He was bare jokes in the beginning though, because he was like, "I'm not finished with you," and he was just like throwing Roman all like over the world. It was really funny. And then when he came out with that big fucking like cello of Elias, that was really funny. I know, that was really funny. It comes out, Elias is playing the guitar, and then there's Braun, like straight face, with fucking cello. It's like going bang like that with it. It's bloody brilliant. It was a joke. You know what topped it all off if Rey Mysterio came out with a violin and just sat next to him. Or like a ukulele. Rey Mysterio with a ukulele. That would have been brilliant. And they did the piano and he broke that. That was funny. This shit is awful, but that was funny. I want to see him come out with more enlarged things. It'd be so funny, like a massive hammer or something. I'll give him a massive hammer,
God.
please.
My God,
Please
I've got his next gimmick. It ties into TV children's shows. He can come out with a great big massive wrench and be the WWE equivalent of Bob the Builder.
Braun
the Builder.
Braun the Welder.
Oh no, it's just been that thing now of like when they had like with Big Show and they had like the chairs match. It was with him and Eric Rowan.
And he had a massive chair.
So he needs to do that. Like
he had a ladder match and he had a massive fuck off ladder.
Yeah, but do that. But like, right, rather than say like next year you might take on Triple H like Mania 38 or whatever. So Trips comes out with his sledgehammer and walk out the big fuck off.
Like dragging it behind him like fucking Barney Rubble. Oh, please do that. Hey, WWE, pay us and do that. Please.
But bring back the hardcore title. Have everyone with like normal sized weapons. It's the same with like a massive fucking bin.
Some massive versions of everything. Just give him like a room. Let's go backstage with Braun Strowman, and it's like a tool rack and everything's massive. Let me just get my pair of scissors and it's like this.
Oh yeah, do that. In fact, do that, but have him do like copy different gimmicks, like when Charlie House was doing it. But one day have him be like Braun the Barber Strowman. Now we come out massive pair of shears.
When they give him the title, make the title really massive as well. Do that. That's really funny. Just carrying on a really massive title. Absolutely fucking brilliant. Oh. Make his microphone massive as well. Make his microphone like a small child.
His vehicle to get to work is like sort of like a blimp or sort of like, you know, a monster truck or something like that.
Oh,
go fucking whole hog with sort of like, you know, the Iron Giant theme.
How did you go from blimp to monster truck?
I don't know.
Well, that's a big like coming the fucking Hindenburg.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And here comes Brock. Oh, fuck, it's happening. Yeah, just make everything massive. Whatever you get, just make it fucking massive, please. I'll just get him to like do it like a music gimmick and just make every single instrument massive. Like a massive trumpet.
They would do it if they had like they were good like backstage and catering. It's like New Day there with like pancakes, and this is just like one massive.
That's a massive pancake.
Oh,
like a fucking UFO. That's comedy. Not this shit, that's comedy. Oh, get him and Rey Mysterio to do shit. That'd be brilliant. And just have like Rey Mysterio teeny tiny things.
Oh.
Like Braun off his like massive fuck off scissors, and then Ray will be like, oh, give him a massive pen as well, just to sign contracts when he has time. Give him a massive pen. Please give him a massive pen. You know those big fuck off pencils you get in like shop? Give him one of them. That's fucking brilliant. And he just bends down. Let me sign the contract and fucking pens this big. Like a fucking RPG.
He's having that thing as well, though, where he makes like they have like the desk being massive, so he's on like one end, like really high up, and the person like over the other person's like just really low down and tiny.
Give him overly massive.
Oh.
Anyway, next match.
Oh.
Next up is Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I mean, this should, in theory, probably be the best match on night one.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah. I agree with you on that one, yeah.
Unfortunately, they did the best that they could to try to sabotage this feud by making Bianca Belair look like a fucking moron. Being that sort of like, you know, Sasha's the one being a complete bitch, and Bianca doesn't fucking sock her in the fucking jaw for it. She just stands there. She stood there and took it. I mean, like, it depends what they do in sort of like the last 2 weeks of television, but I'm not enthralled by the match. With regards to who will win, I don't know, because I'm a little bit torn of what they might do. I'm a little bit torn with what they might do in the other women's title match, to whether they'll switch both belts during the event. They might do, they might not. I'm going to take a stab in the dark. I don't think, even though they're very high on Bianca Belair, I don't think they'll put the title on her at the moment.
Then why did you make her win the Rumble then? Why make her win the Rumble if you're not going to go all out?
Well,
especially with someone like Bianca Belair, because it was a very left field choice to pick. Not very left field, but it wasn't one of the obvious ones before. They've gone as far as to make her win the Rumble if she doesn't win here, I fully agree with you. I don't think she'll win. I don't think she's ready for that title yet. I think I see a lot of I don't know. I just don't see her as a women's champion yet.
Well, there's I mean, look at the women's division at the moment. It's not exactly thriving.
No.
I mean, like even the Raw Women's Champion sort of like has done next to fucking nothing for the past 3 months, and then they've just decided to this brand new spanking, wrestler from NXT. They've just sort of like shoved her at her, and I'm pretty certain they'll go more whole hog with her than they'll probably will do Bianca. You watch, Bianca will fucking win the title and just throw my prediction all off askew. I'm going to go out of left field. I'm going to say Sasha retains. I think.
I agree. I don't think because basically my pick off this is based off my pick for the other women's match. I don't think they'll change both titles. I think Sasha's good. Sasha's doing so well with the title, I think, and she's so confident with it, and she does lead the line in terms of women wrestling, especially on the SmackDown brand. I honestly, I don't think Bianca's ready. I don't, not yet.
See, I'm not overly a fan of Bianca Belair, but I'm not a fan of Sasha really either. So, but
just hate everyone, don't you?
Yeah.
It's the fact that every time she does the fucking double knees drop, Michael Cole has to point out Meteora.
There is that, yeah.
Also her over reliance of saying how much inspiration Eddie Guerrero was.
Oh god,
that one fucking build.
Well, there's that, and then you get like, oh, she's cousins with Snoop Dogg.
It's like, yes.
We know, Michael, you've mentioned it 55 million times, pal. Can you say something else, mate? That'd be great. Just give us the fucking weather report. That'll fucking do me. I'm fucking better at it than commentating.
Was it last year when it was her and Bailey were apparently in the hotel kicking off afterward, having like a strop in the hallway or something?
Yeah, I heard something.
It was last year or the year before. It's whenever they had the women's tag titles, and there was a massive strop apparently.
Oh, it was 35, I think.
Yeah, it was like
35.
Very like the past year, a year or two ago.
Yeah,
they did that.
Mm-hmm. Well, probably because they knew they were losing it to the fucking Iconics.
Well, there's that.
No, what is wrong with them?
They can't wrestle.
Yes, they can wrestle a damn sight better than some of these other arseholes.
That's not saying much.
It's saying something.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of them where I think politics are going to rule here, and I think Sasha's going to win. Though I know Vince is very high up on Bianca Belair currently, from what I've heard.
It's a tricky one to pick because they wouldn't. I doubt they would have given Bianca the Royal Rumble win if they didn't want to do something with her. But it's sort of she's.
But then look at Shinsuke when Shinsuke won.
Well, this is it, innit? And it's just sort of tailed off, and I just don't see her holding that belt.
If she wins it at Mania on night one or whatever, she's holding it till Raw. Or SmackDown, whichever show she's on. She's holding it till that next show, and it'll be the show after Mania. She'll drop it to someone.
Yeah.
And then spend the build up to the next 2 or 3 pay-per-views chasing the bloody thing again. So.
Yeah.
So we all in agreement with Sasha.
Yarp.
Yes.
Yarp.
Okay. Fair enough. Right, main event of night 1. Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. I mean, like, from what I've seen, the Hurt Business faction was pretty much the best thing on a consistent basis with WWE weekly programming. And this being WWE, we can't have popular factions get over. Let's split them up. Damn it. So yeah, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin were given the boosty. Bobby Lashley just basically did like a big old Triple H, which is also like, you take out Drew McIntyre, I'll give you $100,000. Well, it wasn't Drew McIntyre then; it was Goldberg. But yeah, he's just basically put a hit out on Drew, and for whatever reason, Baron Corbin took up the mantle of who the fuck knows.
Who the fuck cares?
Well, I mean, like,
Corbin, come on.
Well, yeah, I know, but the thing is, they had something there in the fucking Hurt Business. Like, I wasn't really sure about it at the time, but they aligned themselves to make themselves like quite a credible threat. Like, they basically became the success they only wish they could do with Retribution. Mm-hmm. Now, if this is in sort of like, you know, a great big massive storyline of, you know, Benjamin and Alexander, they're a part of this, they're probably on the outs, but then it comes to Mania, and then they just sort of like, you know, they help Lashley win the belt, but then like Lashley and MVP can save face by saying that, you know, it wasn't Hurt Business because they're not involved with the Hurt Business. Tried to save face there. They decide to go down that route. Fair enough. That might work if they execute it properly. But I just basically look at this match of WWE wanting Drew McIntyre to win the WWE title in front of fans.
Yeah. Wholeheartedly agree. Drew McIntyre all the way. End of.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, I don't agree with. Like, I've got nothing against Drew, but let's be honest, it was a fucking lackluster title reign. I mean, it was going to be when you're fucking doing a 4-month-long feud with fucking Randy Orton. I mean, this coming from the same company that continued to have a Rey Mysterio and fucking Seth Rollins feud for literally 3/4 of the fucking year. It was literally, you know, that bit in The Simpsons, you know, when they're watching daytime TV, it's just sort of like they're cleaning of a house. It never ends. That was the Rey Mysterio Seth Rollins feud. But yeah, as I say, I've got nothing against Drew, but he shouldn't be getting the title back. I mean, we've seen how effective he is as a champion, and it's not really that interesting. At least with Lashley, it's something a bit different, and he's a bit more credible, and there's more stuff you can do there. But that's just
the argument with that is, were we or were we not, and among other people, and saying the same thing about Drew McIntyre last year? I mean, it comes and goes, doesn't it? I mean, I know a lot can happen in a year, but Drew McIntyre was the champion-elect as soon as he won that Rumble match.
Yeah.
Last year. I mean, but therein lies the problem. It goes around in phases, and WWE have got to snap out of this little phase they've got, and the circle of. I mean, look at Drew McIntyre. He basically went from headlining Mania last year, and now he's fighting for the title again, and that's a pretty all right, not bad drop off when you think about it. But there's been a lot worse people to do that. I mean, look where Miz was. He was in the main event of Mania not a few years ago now, and look where he is. He's fighting some 2-bit rapper from who no one fucking knows.
Well, you say he was in the main event of WrestleMania not too long ago. That was a decade ago, mate.
That's not too long ago for me. I had her 10 years. Well, actually, yeah, okay. Well, not too long ago, but you know what I mean. These cycles that WWE go in of having a main event caliber wrestler, top champion, because obviously you've got the Universal title and that's the top champion. No, it's fucking not. It's a toy belt from Toys R Us. And you've got the WWE title, fighting for the title. I mean, even if you're in the title match themselves, and then you're nowhere near the year after. And it's quiet. Kofi Kingston. Mm-hmm. Look at Kofi Kingston within a year. And I think it's killing the reputation of that title, because that title's been built on big wrestlers having big feuds, having big matches, and then winning them big matches. That's what it's built on. It's not built on oh, we'll give it this guy, see what happens. We'll give it this guy, see what happens. We'll give it this guy. McIntyre was actually a nice breath of fresh air that pleased fans and Vinnie Mac. It pleased everybody. And then it sort of didn't. It sort of tailed out again. And thankfully he still managed to, and hopefully he will win the title back, and I think he will. But what will happen to Lashley? What will happen to Lashley next year? Is it just a case that's what it's been these last couple of years, especially that WWE title? When they don't know who to put it on, we'll put it on Brock, and then we'll figure it out later. They've not got Brock to the extent they had last year anymore. They've not got him like that. And I'm sorry, WWE cannot keep falling on Brock, on Cena, on wrestlers like that, on Goldberg to come back in and bail them out. You've got to start building credible stars, a big main event caliber stars. And I'm sorry, no disrespect to Lashley and McIntyre, because I know they can be big main event stars and have that big match feel that maybe one day they'll have the same big match feel that Rock and Stone Cold had. Maybe one day, who knows? But they're not going to get it if they go on this fucking roundabout of big 1 minute, gone the next, big 1 minute, gone the next, big 1 minute, gone the next. Where's our next star coming from? Where's WWE's next star coming from? I think that's the telling point. I hope it's McIntyre. I hope it is. I think it can be. But we'll see, won't we? We'll see.
Well, there was a thing that popped up I read last week, I think it was, saying about how WWE now knows they have to start trying to push younger guys because, of course, all the majority of their main event talent is mid-30s or pushing 40.
Isn't I almost called him Punishment Martinez then, but that's his old name. Is it? I always get mixed. Damian Priest. He's almost 40, isn't he?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I mean, what are they doing?
They brought LA. What's he called? Eli Drake back. LA Knight. He's 37.
Yeah. Well, the problem is just sort of like, you know, with a lot of young guys, when they're initially brought into WWE, they're stuck in developmental for sort of like, you know, 5-6 years, maybe even more than that. So by the time they do get to the main roster, they're sort of like into the mid-30s. Mm. So, you know, I mean, there's like this Brock Lesnar prototype athlete that
Parker something he's called. I can't think of his surname.
Yeah. Like, he literally just looks like a fucking clone of Brock Lesnar, except he's got like a shitty full sleeve tattoo. That they're pegging as sort of like literally the next big thing. But, you know, depends how long he's sort of stuck in developmental.
Yeah, that's it.
Right. But, I mean, the thing is, this has been a fucking long time coming because they continue to fucking do it year after year after year after year, and then even the sort of like the bright prospects that they have on their hands, they do the thing that WWE likes to do all the time, and that's shove them down people's throats until they become completely unlikable and everybody rejects them, and then they're just sort of like, well, there's no pleasing some fucking fan bases.
I think that's the problem as well. WWE is so quick to just go, oh, you lot, that's their excuse, and these guys are not happy with anything. They go around in circles. 1 minute you're popular, 1 minute. I'm not being funny. Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock have been popular for fucking decades. The wrestlers, like you need to start creating icons again. Rock was an icon, or still is an icon. Stone Cold Steve Austin is still an icon. Shawn Michaels, icon. Triple H, icon. Those names live on in wrestling forever. And I'm sorry, but at the minute in time, if say 30 years and I'm approaching 60, if someone was to turn around to me and say, oh, I don't think anyone's going to turn around to me and say, oh, you know that Drew McIntyre lad, wasn't he good? No one's going to do that. Remember that Bobby Lashley, wasn't he good? No, no one's going to do that at this minute in time. It's funny, but that's the case in point where WWE is at the minute. Yes, you have big stars, but do you have icons? No. And the minute you get on the precipice of one, you let them fall away. Finn Balor could have been an icon. But is he going to be an icon in NXT? You're telling me he's going to be like we're going to remember him like a Shawn Michaels or a Rock? Because we should be. We should be.
I think with Balor, there is a bit there, but it's more because, of course, everyone always just remembers him for being the demon.
But whose fault that is? Because it sure as ain't Finn Balor's.
No. Well, but
it's not like he's come to WWE and said, I want to paint up all the time and be known as the demon. He's not done that. He's not advertising himself. He's always been Prince Devitt, Fergal Devitt.
He's not advertised the body paint to have its own separate character.
Well, this is it, innit?
Yeah.
Why, they didn't have to do that, WWE. Just leave it as it is. We knew about his face paint and body paint when we all loved it. It was nice, great. But he always came out as Prince Devitt.
Mm-hmm.
He always came out as Fergal Devitt or wherever you choose to watch him. He never came out as the demon. Mm-hmm. So ask yourselves whose fault is that he's known as the demon now? Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. So with my prediction, I'm going to go with McIntyre, for the simple fact is that they've said for God knows how many times, they said it countless fucking times, like they want him to win the belt in front of an audience. So they're going to go with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's night one sorted.
Yay.
Well, before we move on, I think we should take a quick break and we'll let them listen to sound effect, and then we'll come back for night two.
Yeah, why not?
Hi, I'm Mike from the Genuine Chit Chat podcast, where we have honest conversations with interesting people. I speak to a wide variety of guests, from travellers to musicians to those afflicted with mental or physical illnesses. There's really no subject that's off limits, from movies to politics and even controversial topics ranging from sex to drug reform and political correctness. So if you still believe in the art of conversation, are intrigued by healthy debates with different ideas and perspectives you may not have thought of, and want a podcast where every episode is about something different with a variety of guests, then this may be the podcast for you. You can hear us on YouTube and all your favourite podcast apps, and follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. So if you want to hang out and listen to honest conversations with interesting people, then come to Genuine Chit Chat, where I'm your host, Mike Burton.
And welcome back. We are here for night two with our WrestleMania predictions. So without further ado, let's crack on.
Okay, let's get into number two.
Number two,
dude. Oh, fucking hell, I've just reminded myself that fucking it's Hulk Hogan and Titus O'Neil hosting this shit's maybe.
It is, yeah.
I'm not a racist. My best friend is black.
I swear that's that's very close to sort of like a Frankie Boyle line that he said on Scenes We'd Like to See on Knock the Week. I forget what it was.
Most unlikely hosts of WrestleMania.
Oh, I think it's sort of.
Let me tell you something, brother. And
I think it's the scenario sort of like what the Queen didn't say in her Christmas message, and Frankie Boyle just comes up saying, "Some of my best friends are black."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
But one of them, like Hogan, will come out like with Titus. He'll be like behind the podium and just step out and he'll have black Confederate fucking cowboy boots on or something, and be like, "I'm not racist, but."
I'm not racist, but let me tell you this, dude.
How'd you like my white hoodie?
Forever. Right, before we get on to the official matches that have been announced, I'm going to sort of like, preface this by saying this hasn't been announced, but I imagine that somewhere on night two, they'll probably do something with the SmackDown Tag Team titles, because they seem to be sort of like building stuff up from what I've seen via the results on SmackDown, of possibly doing something with the Mysterios, the possibility of Otis and Chad Gable being involved in that as well.
Little and large.
So, I mean, I would probably think that if they were going to do something, it would be like a multi-man tag team, but I'm not 100% certain on that. But yeah, I don't know whether we sort of like count it in sort of like the actual predictions themselves, because
It's always been one of them. I think we did it either last year or the year before, whatever it was, possibly the year before that, where we did the predictions and then like the following day a match came out and we ended up having to do a post on Facebook and Twitter of like, here's our predictions for this match.
because WWE just basically looked at our predictions and said, fuck you, pal. It is last minute as ever.
I'm gonna really fuck him over this time.
That thing, Trips will be there like on one side of the arena with like he'll just get like a fax printout come through like the old like style printer paper with like the thingy down the side, and he'll like be running all the way. You'll just see him doing that, doing like a little dad run down like round this arena. Gets to Vince, who it turns out in like his office, but it turns out he was in the office right next door to Tripp, so he could have literally just walked around and handed it, but no, he had to go like the long way around. And he's like, oh, we have predictions, huh? What's changed things? Because fuck 'em, that's why.
Tell him, Hulk. Well, let me tell you something, brother. Anyway, let's get on to the actual confirmed matches for this show. First up is Matt Riddle defending the United States Championship against Sheamus.
Right.
Sheamus seems to have sort of like, picked up his sort of like in-ring work, providing it's against people that he knows he can clobber the shit out of and knows that they can beat the living crap out of him as well. They can just basically sort of like, do the stuff that Tomohiro Ishii and Minoru Suzuki do on a daily fucking basis.
Just brawling, isn't he? Just brawling.
Yeah.
I've heard the reports and I've seen the aftermath pictures of like the three matches him and Drew had.
Yeah.
Which is like essentially let's just give them like 20 minutes to beat the shit out of each other 3 times over, and everyone's gone, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's considered a fucking pastime in Japanese wrestling.
Kids do it in playground.
See, bring it over to here. And I like to think that sort of like Matt Riddle would be an ideal opponent for Sheamus because Riddle being ex-MMA, I think Sheamus isn't the probably the safest worker. He isn't one to sort of like hold back, and I'd like to think would like Matt Riddle, even though he's like high as a fucking kite, dude. He's literally Dylan from the Magic fucking Roundabout in WWE. He's Riddle. It's like, hey, dude, you want to like set up like a scooter company? Do you think they'd be big in Japan, Asuka? And Asuka's like, oh, I don't know.
But he's done quite well to get out of his dad's shadow, Rob Van Dam. I mean, Riddle doesn't...
Hey, guys. It's me, Rob Van Dam. Just want to tell you how I am going into the Hall of Fame this year.
Oh, that fucker's going in the Hall of Fame as well. Jesus Christ.
There was the thing though.
Oh, he's going to turn up with Katie Forbes, and it's going to be like, no, stop twerking, you horrible woman.
There was the thing he did the promo with Asuka, apparently, and he forgot his lines.
Yeah, he just walked off.
Apparently, she just seemed confused, and he just walked off. But then, apparently, the higher ups heard about it, and Vince McMahon thought it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So
either that, or he was given something, a bit sort of shady to say. And he was sort of like, yeah, I can't say this. I'm just going to go.
Yeah, I'm just going to go, bruh. I'm
going to go, dude.
I'm going to go, my skidder, bruh.
You just think like... He's a
GTA character, isn't he? He's such a GTA character. He's
specifically Vice City.
Yes.
He'd be like one of the characters you have to do side missions for on the beach.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the bloke.
I mean, I would think this would be quite decent, to be honest with you. I mean, like I know the original plans that they had for the United States Championship before they put it on Riddle was actually to put it on Keith Lee, but he's experiencing. Obviously, he went through the bout of testing positive for COVID, and then there was sort of like unreported sort of like medical conditions he was having. even though he was trying to push himself to sort of like, you know, wanted to get back into the ring as soon as possible. So I mean, they're not really doing anything with Riddle on WWE. But mind you, with that fucking promo, it might have changed his fucking perspective with Vince, so maybe he gets a little bit of a push from it. But also they've been pushing Sheamus quite hard on TV. And it's quite a tough match to sort of like to ink out. I will say I think Riddle will retain via roll-up and then get attacked by Sheamus afterwards. I don't think it'll be clean cut win, but I'm going to say Riddle retains.
Looking at who I'm going to pick for the others and just going off that, because I can't pick this. I think it's you can make arguments for both these guys winning, because I don't think it'll harm either of them if one of them lost either. And I think you could quite easily do a rematch and have it go the other way and just swing it back if it doesn't work out. So, hang on. Face-ish. I'm going to say Riddle.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think they'll do this match again at Backlash, the next one. Yeah?
Extreme Rules, isn't it, normally?
Is it Extreme Rules? I'm so out of touch. No, I think you can easily, and I think they'll do the match again in the Extreme Rules match, and Big old Daddy Sheamus will win the match. Yeah.
Depends what they want to do with Sheamus, because we're assuming if Drew wins the WWE title, if they go back into sort of like naturally a Sheamus-McIntyre feud.
Yeah, well, that's why another reason why I think Riddle might win it, because I think Sheamus is... The words I want to come out of my mouth are too good for the United States Championship. I don't... You know what I mean? I think he's better than a mid-card.
He's on the cusp.
Yeah, I think he's upper to main event card, I think. And I just think that having him in mid-card like that is a bit of a waste of a spot that could be for someone else, and basically a spot for him, because he can obviously have an absolutely amazing storyline and amazing matches with Drew.
See, I think it's one of them where it's if Sheamus wins, then if Drew doesn't win on night one, then Sheamus is going to win this, because it gives him something to sort of feud over. Whereas if McIntyre does win, then I can't see Sheamus winning this. I think Riddle will win it, and it'll lead to a whole thing of them. It'll build to a rematch at whatever next pay-per-view is. If it is Extreme Rules and they've got the gimmick match to go off, because you know how they love them gimmick matches, and it'll be something like either like the what was the match you had with Tim Thatcher on NXT? I can't remember their name for it.
It was like Lion's Den match or something like that. It was Lion's Den-esque, but I don't think that's what they actually called it.
Yeah, I think it'd either go for something like that, or it'd be something like they do like a taped fist match or something.
Let me have a quick look.
So.
Fight pit match. That's what they had.
Yeah, I could see him going down that route, maybe.
Possibly.
Like that, or just like a regular steel cage match if they're going for the gimmicks.
Well, they can't really. Well, I don't know whether they want to win. Don't know whether they want to run two steel cage matches at back-to-back pay-per-views. Although they might do. It's fucking WWE. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, they just do what they want. They don't care. Care.
They've got $1 billion from Peacock. They couldn't give a shit about the quality of their product most of the time.
It offers about, what's that? Lewis Ogden said we can't do two back-to-back. Well, fuck them, that's why.
Well, I'm not saying you can't do it, Vince. I'm just saying it wouldn't be a good idea, but, you know. I ain't the one with $1 billion in my back pocket, unfortunately.
It's such good shit.
Yeah. So, sorry, mate. Who are you going with?
That is a very good question. I'm torn, but like I do kind of enjoy the Riddle character. I think he's quite funny at times. I've not seen much of this new Sheamus character to be able to sort of call it. Like, is he sort of the new Finlay? My name is Sheamus.
I know you like to fight.
I know he might fight if I'm paid the
I think so.
They're dressing up like a Peaky Blinder, though, aren't they?
Yeah. Just to go back to sort of like, you Riddle making you laugh every now and then. Still, my funniest thing about Riddle since he's come to the main roster was his backstage interaction with MVP. He's just sort of like MVP going, "Look, I'm not your mate, okay?" And Riddle just goes, "Oh," and he actually makes MVP like nearly fucking corpse. I'm just thinking, well done, sir. Well fucking done.
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards Riddle, but then it's going to be that thing of if it is, then it's going to continue the feud. And it'll have like Sheamus chasing it. Unless they want Riddle to chase it, which would be then putting it on Sheamus. But yeah, I'm going to go for Riddle on this one. Okay.
Oh, next on the cards. Oh, and I was actually quite looking forward to this match as well. Is Kevin Owens versus Sami-Zayn. Now, you're probably thinking, Lewis, why are you so down on this match? It's Kevin Owens versus Sami-Zayn. In normal circumstances, yes, but it's who they're bringing in as sort of like the celebrity involvement.
Oh, sweet Babe Juice and the Orphans, I've just remembered. Oh, fucking hell.
Yes.
Oh, hit me in the face with a cat.
It's no one's favourite YouTuber.
It's a YouTuber that did the whole thing of exploiting suicide and death for views. Logan-Paul, yay! Fucking.
And he got knocked out by KSI, so fuck off. KS. Yes, he's an all-nighter. He doesn't like rest.
This will be like my piss break or the break where it's like, I'm going to go make a cup of coffee.
Representing the sideburn and KSI here. Come on. I've even got a band.
Sorry, Mr. Dark, but we're not all down with the kids, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Making tiki-talkies and watching these popular YouTubers.
Making tiki-talkies.
Fucking hell. I mean,
sound like that bloke off One Foot in the Grave.
I don't believe it. That's what he says.
I don't believe it.
I mean, to be honest with you, we don't know the extent of his involvement. I mean, Big Daddy Tuna Meltzer's reported that he is going to have a hand in sort of like their escapades at Mania. He is making an appearance at tonight's SmackDown on the Friday night that we're recording. With regards to who might win, I can see Zayn winning under screwy circumstances with fuck you, Paul. Not literally Paul.
Not sexy Paul. No, not sexy Paul.
Yeah. Hey, Paul. Fuck you.
I swear every time we do these and whoever's not on, we just like roast them. And that's another thing. Fuck you, Bunkle, as well.
Oh yeah, where were you tonight, Bunkle? You lazy fucker.
This is why I'm on every single one, because I know if I'm not here, I just get roasted for an whole episode. So I'm on every single one, so you have to do it to me face, you evil bastard.
Yeah, that's before we go on the air as well, though.
Yeah. You should see our group chat. It's just ridiculous, like ridiculation.
Yeah, I mean, with regards to this match, it's sort of like it was one of those that came out of the blue. You know, they sort of had like, sort of like, I don't agree with you on this, on, the Kevin Owens chat show or whatever, and then sort of like, that constitutes a match. And I'm sort of like, okay, well, it's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and, it's sort of like, it's different with Owens being a face, Zayn being a heel. Interesting dynamic. Let's see what goes. And then said fucking YouTuber came in, and I did my Peter Griffin impression when he's in the cinema and just stands up and goes, done!
Done.
So, this will probably be my piss break for night 2. And yeah, I think Zayn will probably win via shenanigans. Just because it seems to be quite a populated show. My predictions so far for babyface is winning.
I fully agree with Zayn winning this, exactly the way you described it. But again, this is the same as the Riddle and Sheamus match. I think you can rehash this at the next pay-per-view and have the other one win. And, you know, I don't think any of these guys are going to lose credibility if the pin. But, yes, Zayn with a lovely screwy finish. Owens had his little stunner gimmicky thing, and that lasted a while. But, yeah, Zayn to win.
Well, Owens is still doing the stunner, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's still doing it.
And Sami Zayn's on this whole like it's a conspiracy against him, is like people are conspiring against him and all this sort of thing, which is like makes me think it's going to be like there's going to be like, of course Logan Paul's going to try and get involved. It's going to be that thing where like he'll be stood on the apron giving Kevin Owens shit, and of course then Sami Zayn will come behind and try and attack him, and Kevin Owens will move. He'll end up taking off Logan Paul, and then just like getting a roll up or a stunner, and then there'll be the whole thing on Sami Zayn on Twitter going, "That was a conspiracy. I was cheated and robbed, and that shouldn't have happened." And so I think for this one, it's going to be Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
this is the curveball.
Mm-hmm. Well, to be honest with you, it's one of those that could probably go either way. Really, I could see them doing that.
Again, it depends on how they're going to do it. If they're just going to have this one match and have this is going to be the blow off, or if it's going to be they're going to try and carry it on, and again sort of lead towards a gimmick match, which is going to be something daft like they're going to have a ladder match. Why?
Because
we have a spare ladder.
Because reasons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We bought too many from Home Depot, so we need to use them, guys. Come on.
Yeah, probably. Right. Next up on the list is Big E versus the Nigerian Prince Apollo Crews singles match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. This is obviously off the back of the Fastlane pay-per-view, where they had a match under 10 minutes, and then Big E rolled. Well, it was Big E won in a completely botched finish from an apparent roll-up, and then Crews beat him up afterwards. I've not been following the build for this during SmackDown. There hasn't really, well, as far as I'm aware, there hasn't been anything significant happening, so I will probably just go with I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw a curveball to my old favourite Uha, and I'm gonna go with Apollo Crews picking up the victory, becoming the new Intercontinental Champion, because sort of rolls into sort of like what will happen in the main event picture. But I think Big E will be pushed onto bigger things as the year progresses.
No, I agree. I absolutely agree. I think Apollo Crews, when Apollo Crews has had like a gimmick change, and that's not happened to him before, not to the extent that it's happened like this, and he's this Nigerian Prince now. He's got new attire as well. I think when you change a gimmick or change a wrestler so dramatically like they have done with him, he's got to win the next big match. He's got to win it. Otherwise, the gimmick, that means nothing, and he becomes a joke, and he falls into non-existence. I think he's got to win this. I think he will win this. For a reason to make his new Nigerian Prince thing genuine and to solidify it, and also so Big E can now push on, which I think they want to do with him, because let's be honest, the guy's entertaining as hell and he's a good worker. He needs to be up there as well. And then it's like I keep saying, WWE have got to stop building a big star, and it's Big E, Drew, or whoever wants to take it at the minute. So yeah, Apollo Crews for the benefit of both these guys. So both these guys.
So the problem now is you're both saying that, and I think it's one of them where it might be that thing of where Big E wins, but then he gets attacked afterward, and then on like Raw or SmackDown or whatever, the belt then changes hands, or it'll lead through to the next pay-per-view, and then that's when the belt will change hands and Apollo will win it.
I can see them doing that, but at the same time, they're sort of like they're doing a basic like copycat of exactly what they did at Fastlane 3 weeks ago. So, but mind you,
I wouldn't put it past them.
Mind you, it's WWE. I won't put it past them to do exactly the same thing again.
I'm also quite disappointed not yet here. There's been a backstage segment where someone's been on the phone and go, "Oh, I have an email, like an email. Oh, I've apparently won like $1 billion from a Nigerian prince. I've just got to enter my details." And just have Apollo be like, "Hey, did you get that email I sent you?"
And then Braun pulls out his massive phone and that. What was that TV show where he had that?
Trigger Happy TV.
Trigger Happy TV. Yeah, like that. I just pulled that out. I just want to see him like, you know, when you have like those corridor sort of promo thing, and just see he doesn't say anything, camera doesn't follow him, he just walks past with this massive phone and a massive suitcase as well.
But then he'd have to have an iPad the size of a vending machine.
Just get like a windscreen or something. Or like, give him. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm like, this is like a plate. I don't know if you see. This is like his plate. Yeah, that can be his plate. But if you or something, playing frisbee, and he can play frisbee with Rey Mysterio, and he'll throw something the size of this, yeah. And when Rey gets it, it's like that. It's like really small. Or it like flattens him.
Well,
and we just see a blood splatter and a mask. That would be brilliant. That's how to kill off Rey Mysterio when he doesn't sign his contract.
If you're not sure what I'm referring to, by the way, go back and listen to the first part of this episode.
Big things make Braun happy. Fee-fi-fo fun.
That almost reminds me of just slightly going off topic. There was the Big Show. There was an interview I was watching with the Big Show where he's saying like he's talking about when he went to Japan on the first tour he went on to Japan with WWE, and he's like, of course everything's like notoriously tiny there. So when I went to the bathroom and I had to take a dump, but I was literally like that. And something happened where like the wall fell through, so he's literally there, like half naked in the fucking corridor.
Oh no!
Taking a shit.
So it's the equivalent of that segment he had with Eddie Guerrero, where Big Show took his sort of like, you know, Eddie's enchiladas, but Eddie had fucking spiked the enchiladas, so Big Show ended up on the fucking can, but with no toilet roll, and then Eddie Guerrero kicked the fucking door in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Good old Eddie.
Yeah. Oh,
next match.
Do miss him. So have you gone with Big E on that one?
Yeah, I'm going with Big E simply because I think it will lead to a title change, because they always say they're gonna do something for the shows after Mania, and because they're trying to get people to tune in. So if they have Big E retain at Mania, then it leaves them set up for the title change that week or at the following pay-per-view, which I think will happen. Because it depends how, if they are going to push Big E to main event, it's like, surely it's going to be like a very slow burn of like, either he's going to get in for like SummerSlam, or as late as like Survivor Series or whatever the TLC, whatever the December pay-per-view is going to be. So, and then they'll probably push him to win like the Rumble next year. So.
Possibly, because I know like thoughts on sort of like a lot of fans was they were a big proponent for Big E to win the Rumble this past year, but I think it was a bit too soon for him, in all honesty.
Yeah, I think it would have been like when Roman Reigns won it and everyone booed. I think it would have just been that thing of like, nope, too soon, fuck you.
Well, I don't know if I go to that level, but I mean, in terms of, you know, his stature as sort of like a singles wrestler,
yeah,
I don't think it would have had the backlash that Roman obviously had. But I think when you look at it from a logical standpoint, you just think, yeah, probably a bit too much too soon. But they might have found a way of working with it if it connected with the crowd. I think it would have connected a little bit more than It would from subsequent Roman pushes. Okay, I'm fucking waffling here. Next match is the comedy spot for the evening. It's The Fiend, Bray Wyatt with Alexa Bliss versus Randall Kenneth Orton.
It's The Fiend.
It's The Fiend. Fiendish times.
Pull off into paradise. I thought you were going to say pull off into Alexa Bliss, and I thought, please don't say that. No, don't say that. Oh, no.
Well, I mean, yeah, with regards to this feud, I've learned to sort of like not take it seriously, because in the past I was sort of like going, well, this is fucking stupid, and it is fucking stupid. But instead of being sort of like, you know, this is so fucking stupid, why are they doing it? I've sort of gone into the realms of, yeah, this is fucking stupid, in all honesty. And yeah, it hasn't really helped itself, given that when the Fiend made his triumphant return, you know, after being burned alive, or like burnt or whatever, it was literally just a case of he came back through the ring, and somebody on Twitter absolutely fucking spoilt it for me by just sort of like having a screen grab of the villain, you know, from the Mighty Morphin Rangers movie.
Ivan Ooze.
Yes, that's it. Ivan Ooze, that's it. And I was just sort of like, ruined! Can't take it that seriously. So, yeah, as I say, I've learned to not take this too seriously. I've actually learned to sort of like look at it in a humorous way, because it like literally sort of like, you know, the people who tend to take this seriously, Bunkle, James Cornette, you know, you just think this is one of those where just sort of like, you know, turn your brain off. Honestly, turn your brain off. Sort of like, don't think anything logical for like the next 10-15 minutes or whatever, and yeah, it'll probably be some like weird shit, pal. Probably similar to what Bray did last year with Cena, even though I thought that was pretty shit. But yeah, I mean, I've got the Fiend winning here, given that it's been pretty much all Randy, and I'm assuming that Randy's the heel in this.
Sort of.
I think.
It's weird, isn't it? You can't really pinpoint this one, can you?
Yeah.
It's just a case of two people having it off. I mean, two people just... I didn't mean to say having it off. You know? We know what I meant. Just two guys wrestling and being friends, and well, not being friends, but just getting on with their lives, really. And yeah, I got to go with the Fiend. I mean, because how many more big matches can the Fiend and Bray Wyatt lose before he just becomes a fucking complete joke? And sort of, what's the point in backing him? And what's the point of pushing him to this extent again, if this is what we're going to do? I mean, come on. And stop giving him that gimmicky title said it all. You knew what was going to happen as soon as he walked out with that thing. You thought, oh, for feck's sake, guys, come on.
Is this another Firefly Funhouse match thing, or is it just normal Fiend v Bray Wyatt?
At the moment, it's just
Fiend
sort of
v
like
Orton even, sorry.
Yeah, at the moment it's just it's advertised as just sort of like a regular singles match.
Pure, unadulterated, just singles match.
Pure, unadulterated.
That could change this week in essence. To be fair,
Possibly. You know,
there must be some. They must have a gimmick to add to it or something like.
Yeah, you would think so, but
Nightmare in a Playground match.
It wouldn't surprise me nowadays. Like,
careful now.
Be like fun and games, children being stabbed, fun and games, you know.
Fun and games. Oh, there's a mousy monster over there. Fun and games.
Children being stabbed.
It'll be like going back to the what was that fucking match they had in the house? Was it the House of Horrors match or some bullshit? It'd be like that, but you just see Orton walking in like, oh, I'm coming prepared now. He just pulls out a knife.
What have you got there, Andy? A knife. No!
And then the Fiend just pops up with like one of those Crocodile Dundee hats that he wears and just goes, that's not a knife. That's a knife.
I was going to say, that's not a weapon. This is a weapon. He just brings out the great big massive fucking mallet that he brought out in the Hell in the Cell match against Seth.
But it'll be that thing of like, are you sure you've got a knife, Randall? And then it'll be like Orton just stood there with like a kid's toy or something. And like, so yeah, I don't. Surely Orton is like a career heel life, no matter what he's done. Like,
well, I don't see how you can burn somebody alive and still register yourself as a face. But this is WWE. They have done shit like that in the past.
How many situations can we think someone's been burned alive and go, you know, that person was actually genuinely doing the right thing? You know what I mean? Yeah, because I look at awesome people all the time and just go, yeah, they were just doing the right thing at the time.
That man was the good guy, children.
If that was the case, Den Perry would have got his own fucking spin-off show. and it's not. So...
No, if that was the case, like the disabled boy charity box would have made a dramatic comeback.
You know what? That actually looks like the thing
like,
now, doesn't it? That's like that melted disabled boy. That's like, is that the Fiend's new gimmick?
Dan Perry would have been there asleep, like in bed, and he just hears something, and he just sits there, like in his bedroom, calling towards him, going, "You killed me!" And he's like, "Hold on, you're a fucking charity box."
To be fair, that's the last thing I say if I saw like a disabled burn victim at the end of my bed. Be like, what the fuck are you doing in my house, you fucking weirdo?
Well, you know, it's WWE for you. Because fuck them, that's why.
Yeah.
The burn victim version.
Yeah, I think I want to see the Fiend for this one. Like, he's going to win, surely.
Yeah. You would think, and then, please bring this feud to a close.
He's got to win. He's got to. He can't lose any more big matches. He'll just be irrelevant.
Yeah, probably. Probably. This is WWE, mate. You never know what they're going to do next.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anything could happen in the big time, pal. Right. Let's get to penultimate match for night 2.
Ooh.
For the Raw Women's Championship, Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. I'm going to go on record and say that this will be the best match of either show.
Ooh.
Honestly,
Why?
I feel. Well, because it's Asuka, and Asuka's fucking awesome. And because Rhea Ripley is a dab hand in the ring despite only being 24.
I accept your argument, sir.
It's just me. With regards to who wins, I don't like Asuka losing, particularly the fact that she's been at like she's been in 3 WrestleManias, 4 if you count the sort of like, you know, the women's Battle Royale trophy thing that was technically on the pre-show of Mania 35, and she's not held a victory in any of her encounters. But let's be honest, they've been treading the water with Asuka as Raw Women's Champion, doing next to fucking nothing. It seems all but set up for Rhea Ripley to come in. She made a big debut on the main roster after being the runner-up in the Women's Royal Rumble. It seems to be set up for her to win the title, which I'm not against. I'm not against, because I do think that Rhea Ripley has the potential of being the next big thing for the women's division. So even though I wouldn't like Asuka to lose, I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley to win the Raw Women's title in a big main roster debut.
I agree with this one. Rhea Ripley obviously lost last year to Charlotte. I don't think it would make sense for her to have her lose again in another big match. This woman's time. I feel awful for Asuka because she's been used appallingly. But circumstances, Rhea Ripley can't lose this match. She won't lose this match. Rhea Ripley all the way.
Mm-hmm.
So is Rhea Ripley going into this as a face or a heel?
I think it's a tweet. There's a lot of tweeny things going on at the minute.
Because Asuka seems to be, as Asuka sort of, I'm guessing Asuka's a face again.
Asuka's definitely a face. It's sorry, just when Anthony said it's a bit tweedy.
What is it, tweeny?
Hey, what do you say?
Come along, play with the tweenies.
Or you using your popular music.
It's hardly popular, really. I think the fact that I'm singing it just tells you that it's not fucking popular.
Well, you're throwing out all these references about bear jokes and ticky-tockies.
God, you sound so old. Oh, no, you sound really old. Put him in a home. Put him in a home.
AXE is literally the equivalent of Steve Buscemi in that fit. What's up, fellow teenagers?
Lando Griffin's the name. Yeah, it's a difficult one because I think Asuka's like one of the best women wrestlers of this, the past like 20 years, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like that thing of like, is this the rumour still going around about them putting Charlotte in it, or is it literally just still going to be a one-on-one? Because we've still got another week of this yet.
As far as I'm aware, it's still one-on-one because apparently around about sort of like, I don't know whether it was last week or the week before, she apparently sort of like had like a potential pregnancy scare. And when she had the tests from sort of like the WWE doctors, they came out as being negative, but the negative results came out too far along for her to be involved in sort of like the plans for Mania.
Right.
So as far as I'm aware, she's not appearing at Mania.
Right.
Because like, from what I remember hearing about through the grapevine, before obviously Lacey Evans got pregnant, they were going to be going along the line of putting the title on Lacey and then Lacey v Charlotte be for Mania. But obviously with sort of like Lacey going out with the actual, her actual pregnancy. Yeah. And then this like apparent false pregnancy with Charlotte. They've obviously had to sort of like, gang over it. Or maybe that's what they were going for. Maybe that's what they were going for with Rhea Ripley initially, or maybe not.
Yeah.
Mind you, she probably could have debuted. She was probably initially scheduled to debut the Raw after Mania. Then obviously all this shit has gone on.
That would have been my guess, original guess, because like they will always like have at least have a debut for the Raw after to pull in big numbers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's going to be. I want to say Asuka, but like I'm leaning towards Rhea. But again, it's that thing of like she is still young, so whether it's the sort of not this year, but there's always next year sort of thing.
But we'll be saying that next year, you know what I mean?
Because like last year when she took on Charlotte, and it's like it was a great match, and she didn't look weak for losing. Like it was the story told was excellent in terms of how she could have won it but didn't because she lacked the experience that Charlotte has. So whether they do the same again with her and Asuka is a possibility. So I'm going to lean towards Asuka for this one.
Okay.
But it's sort of 55-45 of like it could go either way sort of thing. But
yeah, you never know with Mania.
Yeah.
You never know with Mania. Right, so we'll move on to what looks to be the apparent main event for night 2. That being a triple threat match for the WWE Universal Championship. The head of the table, Roman Reigns, defending the belt against the 2021 Men's Royal Rumble match winner, the Rated R superstar Edge, and his other challenger, that being of Daniel-Bryan.
Just before we start, I feel as if you mentioned about the recent news I heard about them judging things week by week because of the fact that Edge looks older every week.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. Well, that was going to be one of my arguments for sort of like my predictions. Because obviously when this match was, when it was talked about when Edge won the Royal Rumble, you know, it was sort of pitched as being like Reigns versus Edge. I was sort of in the camp of like, well, you know, it's obvious that Edge is going to win the belt because, you know, he didn't get a chance to sort of like properly do a bit last year due to the global bastard. Even though he attempted to do stuff, and like his subsequent matches with Randy Orton pretty much lasted a grand total of probably about 2 hours.
2 hours too long.
Yeah.
Argue.
Well, yeah. That's a different topic for a different day. But I just feel with the inclusion of Daniel-Bryan into this triple threat match, and let's be honest, fucking Daniel-Bryan deserves to have a spot at WrestleMania, in all honesty. Because A, it's Daniel-Bryan, he was really fucking great. I was actually quite a proponent before he won the US title due to the interaction that they had during the Royal Rumble. I would have been dead set on sort of like an interpromotional match between Daniel-Bryan and Matt Riddle. I actually think that would have been really fucking good. But you know, they decided to do their own thing. And I'm leaning to what Bunkle has said on previous podcasts, that I don't think they're going to take the belt off of Roman. And, you know, not only Daniel-Bryan being involved in the mix, but also, you know, the report coming out as sort of like, you know, Vince McMahon isn't happy the fact that, you know, as the weeks go by, Edge looks older and older, which is, you know, a common thing that happens to human beings in the life of Vince, you know. So I think Daniel-Bryan is purely in there to eat the pin, but I think he's going to eat the pin from Roman Reigns, and then feeding in from my prediction from the Intercontinental title match, I think they're probably going to go straight into a program of Roman Reigns Big E for the big belt from the big dog.
It's a tricky one, isn't it?
It is, yeah, but that's my thinking.
Because you've got Edge with his drastic heel turn. You've got Daniel-Bryan, just Daniel-Bryan. You just got Daniel-Bryan. And that's more of a case for him to win fucking anything at the minute in time. He can win the fucking Grand National at the minute. You just say Grand Daniel-Bryan. But Roman Reigns, this change in character has been so well done. And he's done so well with it compared to the absolute shitstorm that he's had for years and years and years previous.
Well, I think because he's with the right entourage. Like the thing is, like you look back over sort of like years and years and years of Brock Lesnar, would he have been as effective and would he have been as a bigger draw? Like, I mean, and I realize that's okay with the benefit of hindsight because the majority of people are fucking sick and tired of Brock Lesnar, but he's much better with Paul Heyman there as a mouthpiece. And I'm not saying that Roman Reigns can't talk, but it's just an added factor to have sort of like Paul Heyman in your entourage. Yeah, I think that does definitely help him because, you know, look at some of Roman's solo promo work in the past, and yeah, there's nothing really much to shout about.
No, I completely agree with you. I think they're doing Roman right for once I think I think they genuinely have got it right this time, and it's working a treat. Are they brave enough to take the title off him now he's been on this sort of run? I don't think Daniel Bryan's going to win it. I think he's just there because he's Daniel Bryan, and that's going to please fans to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
The Edge thing. When is he going to get this other chance? I don't think he would have done this. He would have gone into it without knowing he was going to win the title. It's sort of like I remember when Batista came back a few years ago, and it was more the same situation. But I think WWE completely misread how popular Daniel Bryan was going to be, and it's sort of like that. I do think Roman will retain it, but there's that little doubt in my head about Edge. I don't think Daniel Bryan will win it. I think Daniel Bryan is there to eat the pin and just please people at the end of the day. But whether he's going to eat the pin from Edge or whether he's going to eat the pin from Roman, I can easily see Edge pinning Daniel Bryan and carrying on an Edge and Roman feud that way. I've got to go with my head here. I think I've just got to go with my head and say Roman Reigns retain, simply because I don't think Edge or Daniel Bryan have the momentum behind them and the character arc and the longevity that Roman Reigns does have at the minute.
Yeah.
It is a tricky one because it's that thing of like, I don't. But then it's that, why would they put Daniel Bryan in it if he wasn't going to win? But then it's like, well, he's the small guy against two biggers, so he's going to be the one that they just kick the shit out of, throw him out the ring, and then go, oh yeah, there's us two as well. We'll fight each other. Then he'll be outside for a bit, catching a breather, and he'll come back in with dramatic comeback, and he'll get thrown out the ring again, and so on and so on. The Edge needing just for men thing sort of factors in, because he's gone from looking like Edge to Skeletor in like 2 or 3 weeks.
My heart bleeds. I dream of using just for men. Dream of it.
Nothing's stopping you other than the fact that it's like your own limitations.
Yeah, nothing's stopping me other than I've got no fucking hair.
Well, you've probably got the odd strand still there.
I can use it on the beard, yeah, but that's not gone grey yet. No doubt that'll go grey
just paint it on your head. Get a paint brush and paint it on your head.
Oh, yeah, because
any style you want.
I need to look more of a fucking insane lunatic, don't I? That's who I need to look more like.
You could go for the animal, so you could have like the sort of double like mohawk. You'd have the hawk.
This isn't a face you look at and go, yeah, that belongs in society as it is now.
You could give yourself a cul-de-sac.
I may as well just walk around with novelty glasses on at this minute in time and a big nose and shit like that.
Right, yeah, go for it.
Okay, I will. Next time we do this, I'm going to be a changed man.
You can literally
like Groucho fucking Marx.
You can literally gimmick Not Daz.
I really don't think I need a gimmick at this moment in time, do you? I think I've had enough fucking gimmicks on these podcasts. Some being quite inappropriate, can I say?
Yeah, I don't think Edge is going to win it simply because of the fact he's like 40 odd, 42. It's 40, 48.
I don't know. I got told he's almost 50.
Probably. So yeah, like if he does win it, he's champion for a month, 3 weeks, whenever the next pay-per-view is. If Bryan wins it, he's champion for a week. And if Roman wins it, I think I can see him holding it till probably SummerSlam. and then that's when they probably bring in Big E and have that sort of big summer blow off.
47.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really want him to win, but I'm going to go with Roman.
Okay.
Makes sense, doesn't it? I think it just makes sense keeping that title on Roman, keeping him. It's like we said with the Drew McIntyre Bobby Lashley match. You've got to make that title mean something at the end of the day, and I think if you constantly have it on a rotation where the next bed's like Edge coming back and winning it straight away, I think it means more if Roman retains and wins it over Edge.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, that's it. Those are all the 12 matches confirmed over the 2 nights of WrestleMania, gentlemen.
Oh, it's going to be a riveting 8 hours.
Oh, indeedy. I mean, I can't speak for last year because, you know, I watched the opening match and the fact that they were competing in an empty performance center, and I just got really depressed as sort of like they're trying to showcase this is WrestleMania. It isn't, and I just switched off and went to bed.
See, me and Bunkle struggled through it all, but I managed to get the free trial again somehow.
Yeah, Bunkle had to pay.
Bunkle had to pay for it, but didn't want to.
Oh God. Well, this one should be infinitely better than last year's because, you know, there's some semblance of a crowd there. You know, it'll be sort of similar to what they did at this year's Super Bowl because it's in exactly the same fucking stadium. Yeah,
I can't wait for the. It'll be like they'll dub in like Howard Finkel, like when we have set a new attendance record
or a new COVID-19 parametered set stadium record.
Yeah, but because it's like they can't say it's sport, they'll go, oh, we have set a new COVID-19 wrestling attendance figure of 25,000. Like,
yeah,
they'll say sports entertainment. They can't say wrestling in WWE. That's like fucking. That's like saying fucking Art of Satan inside Sistine fucking Chapel.
You know what? We should do that.
What? Just go around the Sistine Chapel, just sort of like going, you know, the devil's inside me.
We should do a Lost Art / Rad
road trip to the Sistine Chapel.
Road trip round Europe to say the most inappropriate things in the most nicest places. Like, I want to go to Venice and shout, can someone call a fucking plumber? Like, shit like that. And just...
Let's see who gets shot first.
Guess who's the fucking favourite? I won't be surprised if I got shot on the way there. By one of you lot.
If you're one of those people that sort of like, you know, as the plane's landing, you're one of those sort of like, you know, clapping as the plane lands, then you will get shot by me.
I clap when I get on.
Woo!
I clap when I get up them stairs without making a dick out myself. I usually clap on that little coach that takes you to and from the plane, to be honest with you. Just constant clapping if I'm going. Just constant clapping all the way there, all the way back. When I went to Tobago, 9-hour trip, constant clapping. You know, people like, shut the fuck up. I'm watching fucking Walk the Line here. She says.
I can see you've been there, like they're doing the thing of the exits are here and here, and you're going, yeah, exits.
You know what? I love a good exit, mate. Nothing pleases me more than a good exit.
Just like this one, so it's time to launch into some plugs.
Hang on a minute. Or am I going first?
Either or.
In terms of what?
Your plugs.
Plug-in. Yeah, we're going plug-in now.
Plug-in.
Plug-in.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I'm a big fan of bath plugs.
Oh, God, I wonder what you were going to say then. Shit me.
Big kid. Grow up. It's a family-friendly podcast, man.
A wrestling podcast, and at the end, I'm a big fan of butt plugs. Completely off topic and just out of nowhere. You know? Big up butt plugs, innit?
I said
sorry, Bob.
Bath plugs.
It's okay, we can dub over it.
What's this we?
Right, Cotsy can dub over it.
So yeah, go on, Lewis. Drop us some Twitch plugs and shit.
All right, okay. Well, I don't do that much Twitch streaming nowadays, but I am available on Twitch if you want to drop me a follow on there. I'm also available on YouTube. I have got some ideas in the work because, given the state of the world during the global bastard, I've been watching a lot of classic Doctor Who as well as listening to a load of Doctor Who Big Finish audio books. So I've got some ideas in the work of like possibly doing some content of that on the YouTube channel. And I'm also available on Twitter as well, where I talk not only pro wrestling, two different kinds of football, American football and soccer for all you American listeners, and just shoot the shit about anything really. So yeah, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, I'm available at the handle loggers109.
My turn, right? Okay. You can follow my TikTok at the annoying husband. You just have to just type in at the annoying, and I come up now. So that's good, isn't it? Even TikTok thinks I'm annoying. So follow me on.
It's become a viral sensation, ladies and gentlemen.
Not a medically viral sensation, contrary to popular belief. But yes, follow me on TikTok. I don't use Twitter. I'm not on Twitch. I'm not a YouTubey person. So I'm not on any of that. So TikTok is where to find me do stupid shit to my body and annoy my wife to the point where the divorce papers are literally in every single shot. So come along and enjoy the ride, people. On the road to 1,000 followers. Let's go.
Oh dear. And of course you can follow our podcast, The Lost Art of Wrestling, on Facebook or on Twitter at LAW Podcast. And you can follow our main podcast, The Lost Art of Podcasting, on Facebook or on Twitter at Lost Art Podcast, and we're on Instagram at Lost Art Podcasting. And you can follow RAD on Twitter. They're at UK RAD Podcast. And they're on Facebook at RAD Random Ass Discussion. Well, that's all for our Mania predictions, and I've been AXC.
Oh, is it me? Sorry.
Possibly.
So I thought I've always been the lesser person, so I always go last. That's always been my thing. And I've been the real Not Daz compared to the fake Not Daz. I've been the real Not Daz and Dark.
We hope you enjoy WrestleMania as much as we're gonna hate it proper. Because let me tell you this right now, dude. Yeah, I haven't got anything else to say, Jack. So, it's a goodbye from the Hulkster, brother.
It's amazing we got him on, really. You know, he's really short of work at the minute.
And do you know why we got him on? Because fuck him, that's why.
Yeah, fuck him.